Hey Shooby Doodlers, how are you doing? It's something I've thought about a lot over the years, and people ask me and people talk about it. It's how do you get better at drawing, at painting, being creative, and about doing anything really. And I had an insight last week. I went up to London to a committee meeting last week, and I had time to go to the British Museum, where I went to see the Edvard Much exhibition. Edvard Munch's the man who painted the Scream, and he's kind of quite well known for making prints as well, and those would be lithographs and wood blocks and all sorts of things like that. I'm kind of standing back and looking around. I thought there's a kind of a slight sort of sameness going on here, and then it was kind of picked up in the text alongside one of the pictures. So he had a romance with a lady, and they sort of met at a place in the middle of nowhere on the side of a fjord, and so they would kind of meet up there, and this was their place. And he had this kind of recurring theme, a recurring motif of a man and a woman by the lake, by the fjord, and quite often from behind as well. And as you kind of looked around, you could see this essentially the same picture being drawn again and again and again and again until finally he kind of got it right. And similarly with other things as well. He had his sister died when he was quite young of tuberculosis, and there's one of his famous paintings is of her being very, very ill. And he reworked that image again and again and again. There's another famous image, the Madonna, which has been worked again and again and again. It's the same woman. I think he had a relationship with of some sort. And it's worked and worked again and again and again until you get this one beautiful image. And the Scream, again, worked over and over and over, and then and the style and all that wavy sunset in the background, all that kind of thing, is worked again and again and again and again until finally he creates that one image of the Scream. If you had just managed to create one of those images in your lifetime that has gone on to badges and mugs and TV, it's everywhere, isn't it? And to create something so iconic in one lifetime, just one of those images would be amazing. But to create sort of 2-3 iconic images in your lifetime, I suppose, is more than you could ever hope for. So how do you get to create those images? By doing them again and again and again and again, reworking, editing, changing, adding new ideas, new thoughts to it, new processes, and just repeating and repeating and repeating. So it's the same when you go to the gym. If you want to build those muscles up, you have to do repetitions. That's what you do. And it's the same with creating really, really good images. So when you think of all the artists, the real big name artists, essentially they're repeating the same thing over and over again. And I think, like with Rembrandt, as I was going around, I thought the thing that I think people really, really remember of Rembrandt are those self-portraits. And he started really young, and these fantastic series of portraits. As he gets older, wiser, and you get, in midlife, you can see him very proud and haughty, and later in life, he's sort of tired and thoughtful and world weary. And those are the images that we know, and those are the images he drew himself again and again and again. He really, really understood what he was doing. And then yesterday I went to the British Museum again because I was going up to London to another committee meeting, and so I had a bit of time, and the manga exhibition opened yesterday, so I went to have a look, and in a way I was actually slightly disappointed. I think all the other people there had big smiles on their faces. They were loving it, especially the youngsters, because it means more to them, because they've been playing characters and watching the anime and stuff like that, and these are kind of old friends, I suppose, they're meeting as original artwork. Whereas to me a lot of it just looked very, very similar. It's a very prescribed kind of style, and nobody seems to want to kind of move out of it very much. So there's very little, to me, there seems to be very little individuality within the style. Whereas in Western culture, you know, it's all about individuality. And I suppose in the Japanese culture, the individuality is, I suppose, is in the story and different ways of containing things within the square frame. Whereas I think we're much more expansive and trying to get out of the frame, I suppose, in the West. But you cannot deny the craftsmanship involved, and that involves drawing again and again and again, repetition. And it's not just, it's repetition within a style. So you're saying this is how we do it. It's like going to the gym, you know, this is the machine that we work on, or whatever it is. And so in the manga, that you just keep working and working and working at it, and you know this is the style and that's how we do it. And so you add these little incremental individuality things on top. If that makes any sense at all. So I think if you want to get really, 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 really good at something, and you want to, you know, and you want to be famous as an artist or whatever it is, you know, you just have to work at it again and again and again. And you know, my top video, click here, have a look. My top video is how to create your own amazing signature. And in that, I say exactly the same thing. What you do is you just write it again and again and again. It's all about repetition until finally your signature emerges. And you have to do it 100 times, 1,000 times, 2,000 times, 50,000 times. You just have to keep doing it. Repeat, repeat, repeat. And all the time I get comments. Can you design my signature for me? I go, no, you do it. You repeat. And it's laziness. It's pure laziness. And to the point where even today, yesterday, I had a comment saying, so can you tell me how to design my perfect signature? I've just told you, you have to do it again and again and again and again and again. You weren't listening. You don't want to listen. And I think maybe people don't want to hear that message. They don't want to know that it's hard work. They don't know that you've got to do it over and over again. But if you really, really, really want to be good at something, do it again and again and again. Well, there you go. Thanks for watching, and click down here and make sure you are subscribed to the Shoo Rayner drawing channel, and keep coming back for lots more videos. I just had a little break, but I'm back again. And in the meantime, keep drawing, drawing, drawing. Practice, 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 practice. Repetition, repetition, repetition. And I'll see you next time. You take care now. Bye-bye.